Hi everyone and welcome. It's Kino here, and I just want to thank you so much for joining for this 1 hour yin practice. Perfect for when you've had a really busy or frazzled day or when you just want to wind down. So let's get started. Come on to a comfortable seated position and let's bring the hands together. As you exhale, rest your hands down to any comfortable position, keeping the mind quiet and calm, training in equanimity of the mind. And we do this by bringing the attention to 3 anchors of mindful awareness. First, be aware of the breath. Notice your breath as it moves in, breath as it moves out. Cultivating pure awareness so that you can simply tune in to breath as breath. No judgment, no fight, no force, easy does it. Just be aware of what you feel as the breath moves in and out of the body. Perhaps just lightly saying to yourself, in, as you breathe in, out, as you breathe out, in and out. That steady pace of the breath which helps ground the mind in this present moment, in the here and now. Then bring your attention to the realm of the physical body and just notice how your body feels, tuning gently in. You may be feeling tired or energized. There may be pleasurable or painful sensations in the body. Just start off with awareness, letting whatever be simply be. Finally, become aware of the quality of your thoughts and your emotions so that you observe thought as thought, body as body, breath as breath. Even just with these moments of mindfulness, you can start to feel your nervous system cycling down so that you're getting a little bit under the frequency of thought already. And then let's go for a nice long deep inhale. And as you exhale, let's softly open the eyes and we'll begin with releasing the neck. So exhale as you drop your head. Let's go over to the left today, just for a little change. We can go over to the left and then move your head a little forward and back. Take the right hand and just root that right shoulder down so you can give yourself a moment just to really press strongly down and find the places where your neck needs a little extra release. Then let's add in the hands. So you can take the right hand to the shoulder, left hand to the head, and then just find those sore spots, those spots that need a little bit of extra attention. And just kind of lean into it. Feel the breath, long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. One more. And as you exhale, release, give it a little shake and come on back into the center. Now let's try the other side. Exhale, let's drop head over to the right. Nice and easy, drop that left hand down. Stay for a moment, rolling your neck a little forward and back. Then let's add in the hands. We can add the hands in nice and easy, little forward, little back. Little forward, little back, easy does it. Then find the spot that you want to hold and then long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. Let's go for one more. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. Good job. Relax. Give your head a little shake. And now let's go for a little side lean. Exhale as you drop that right hand over to the side. And then inhale, sweep the left arm over. It's looking really good. Then find the left arm straight and really reach over. Explore what is your side lean. So if you want a little extra kind of support, you could bend the elbow, but sometimes bending the elbow is too deep. So if you find the body forcing, just go ahead and straighten the right arm again. We'll stay here, relaxing, calming the mind, take it a little easy. And then let's inhale back to the center. Oh, releasing those back muscles feels so good. Let's go on over to the other side. Exhale, let's first glide the hand in. Make sure that your right hip stays real grounded. Then inhale, sweep it over. Nice and easy. Long, steady breaths. If it feels comfortable for you, you can go down on the elbow. If not, just keep the left arm straight. Easy does it. No force, no fight. Just kind of lay the body over, see what comes. Keep a gentle support in the pelvic floor. We're almost there. And inhale, come on back into the center. Exhale here, nice and easy. Feel your spine, just give it a moment to realign. And then let's come over onto the hands and knees. Hands gonna be shoulder width apart, knees hips width apart. Let's roll through a very slow cat and cow. Inhale, roll through each joint of the spine until your chest raises. Exhale, round all the way under. Inhale, nice and easy. And exhale, round all the way under. One more. Inhale, nice and easy does it. Long, deep breath in. Exhale, it's round and under. Back to neutral position. Puppy pose. Walk your hands together and then exhale. Slowly reach your forehead towards the ground, coming up onto your fingertips if that feels good for you. Long, steady breaths. And draw the navel in as the hips go back and up. Keep it nice and easy. Cycling in the breath, cycling out with the breath. No fight, no force, easy does it. Bring your attention into that steady pace of inhalation and exhalation, keeping the mind fluid. No force, just allow the shoulders to release in their own time. And let's come on back up. Inhale, prepare to come back up. Take a moment here. We're going to work thread the needle. Press into the left hand. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Deep breath in. Exhale, thread the needle under, extending the left arm over. And we'll just breathe nice and easy here. Close the eyes. Soften down to a quiet space, a space where all is well. Easy does it. Keep the mind dropping deeper down. Whatever thoughts seem to circulate, appear and disappear, Just let them go. Whatever energy seems to be around the body, held somewhere within, gently let it go. Nice and easy. Find that place within you where you can really release and enjoy, soften, and drop away. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. That's good. Let's prepare to come out. Walk your left hand back, activating pelvic floor, and inhale. Come on back up. Okay, press into your right hand. We'll prepare to switch the sides. Inhale, lift as you spiral up. Exhale, thread the needle under, extending your right arm when you're ready. Nice and easy. Take a moment to really find the place that's right for you. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Easy does it. Steady breathing as you keep your attention really rooted in the inner space. Find out if it feels better to lean a little forward or back or to one side or the other. And just give yourself all the time you need to really roll through. Steady breaths each way. And then let's prepare to come out. Walk your right hand back. And then inhale, come on back up to your tabletop position. Super good. We're gonna widen the knees. And then exhale, sink back. Take a moment here and come all the way up. We're gonna grab our bolster and get that situated. So you can also use the blocks. I like the bolster for our wide child's pose so your back muscles can really release. Just take a moment and get that nicely set up. Slide it down between the thighs. And then on a nice long exhale, reach down, and you can start off with the elbows and then exhale all the way down. Long, steady breaths as the mind softens, keeping your attention quiet and calm. Close the eyes and give yourself permission to just really release, relax, wind down. Any nervousness, any frazzled energy, any frayed nerves. Just let everything come back into harmony. Quieting the mind with steady breaths in. Quieting the mind with steady breaths out. Letting your pace of inhalation and exhalation drop your body weight more and more down. As you feel your connection down into the ground, into the earth underneath you. Feel the layers of muscle relaxing, like melting. Any places where there may be tension or holding, allow the mind to just soften and release. Soften and release. No fight, no force. Easy does it. Be very patient with the mind, very patient with the body. allowing yourself to simply slide down under your thoughts to a quiet space within. Easy does it. Let the breath be like a lullaby that puts all your worries and anxieties to sleep, keeping quiet within. Allow yourself to let go more and more, to surrender and release more and more. Feel the time seem to slow down so that you enter into a deep space of healing, a deep space where the muscles recharge, the body renews itself, any stuck places just unravel, loosen, and release more and more down, quiet and calm. Enter that space of sanctuary within, a quiet, calm space, deep underneath your thoughts, deep in the inner world. Soft and released. Easy does it. Now let's prepare to slowly come out. Let's come up onto the elbows and just move with kind of a new depth, nice and slow. Slowly walk it on up. We're gonna cross the feet underneath and then lift up your bolster, straighten the legs out. We're gonna lift the bolster up on top for a nice relaxing forward bend. So you can point your feet or flex the feet. It really depends on how long your bolster is and what feels right for your body. So I want you to lift your rib cage up on top of the bolster and then just kind of see where you want to find the support. So your body gets really supported. You can rest on the elbows, or just like child's pose, you can rest your head down. And then allow yourself to just kind of wiggle in so you can kind of merge with the bolster. And explore the different forward bend position that comes from having this support. Relaxing the head down, leaning a little over to the side, or just kind of remaining upright, whatever feels better for you. Take a moment to breathe, release, and be. Keeping it nice and easy, supporting your head. Feel your back muscles releasing, the mind quieting down. No fight, no force, easy does it. Keeping it nice and quiet. Allow yourself to just relax. Find the mind on that border between wakefulness and sleep, where each breath seems to be an invitation for more and more depth. And be aware of the entire length of the inhalation the entire length of the exhalation. And let it feel almost as though your whole body is participating in the act of breathing, so that the entire length of the inhalation is an energy transfer. So that as you inhale, you receive energy. As you exhale, you release energy, not only from the lungs, but from every cell of the body, from the entire body. Breath moving in, breath moving out. And if you find yourself yawning, almost as though you're about to fall asleep, let that happen. This is the mind and body relaxing. So just go deeper down into that space. Relaxation and release. Easy does it. Make sure everything feels good in the body. No force, no fight. Keep it nice and quiet. If you need to wiggle around one side or the other, just find your comfort space. We'll be here for a little bit longer. So really just take a moment and enjoy the practice. Plant the seeds of gratitude for this shared space. Here we are across the world, sharing this space of practice. What an amazing gift. Take a moment and celebrate that. You've made space for the practice. You play a role in this wonderful tradition of yoga, into our shared space, the energy that is our collective vibration. Now let's prepare to slowly come out. So let's inhale and find the way back up. You're just gonna open your feet a little bit, let the bolsters slide on down, and open your feet. I'm gonna turn a little over to the side because I don't have as much space, but you don't have to turn over. Just make sure that you can open your feet to a relatively wide position. You can go beyond Upavishta Konasana if you like, to a straddle position. It's up to you. I want you to find out what works. Maybe you want to turn the bolster long ways so you can kind of really go long. And then we'll just stay upright for a moment, okay? So before we fold forward, I want you to just kind of get your pelvis in a happy place. And I do that by just kind of wiggling a little from side to side. Make sure that I'm pivoting enough forward on the sitting bones. And if you're not sure about that, you can kind of pivot back on the sitting bones like you're tucking your tailbone, and then pivoting up towards the fronts of the sitting bones. You can try that maybe 1 or 2 times until you can really feel the movement. And then come onto the very front of the sitting bones, lift the rib cage over the bolster, and then I want you to just explore what depth is right for you. Maybe you want to just hold onto the bolster super close. Maybe you want to drop all the way down so your head relaxes down and you can really just soften down. And then I want you to flex your feet for a moment. Just check in with the legs, point the feet, and then soften. You can give them a little wiggle and just let them be where they are. Okay, let's close the eyes. Long, deep breath in, kind of wiggle around and settle in. Long, deep breath out. Quiet and released. Easy does it. If it gets to be too intense, just bring the feet a little bit more in. But easy does it. No fight, no force. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Follow your breath for the entire length of the inhalation. Follow your breath out for the entire length of the exhalation. Easy does it. No fight, no force. Mind is nice and calm. All is well. All is well. Give yourself permission to let it all go, to surrender, to drop more and more down. Moving underneath your thoughts. Feel your heartbeat. That beating heart within you, and feel the vibration, the frequency, the energy of the heart. Keep it nice and easy. No force, just relax. With each breath, giving yourself permission to drop more and more down, more and more down. Any thoughts that seem to appear in the mind screen, let them go. Release, relax, drop away. Feel the breath moving deeply in, the breath moving deeply out. Nice and easy. Doing so well, keeping the mind in that quiet space of release. We'll prepare to slowly start to come out. Activating pelvic floor. Flex your feet for a moment. Then inhale gently as you come up onto the elbows. And then let's walk it on back up. Stay there for a moment. We're gonna move the bolster on over to the side. And then keeping the legs open, we're gonna add in a little side lean, okay? So please, easy does it. Exhale, take your right hand on the ground, just like we did at the very beginning of class today. And then inhale, sweep with the left arm, oh so good. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can drop down onto the elbow. But it might not be comfortable for you to drop down onto the elbow. So feel welcome to just keep the arm straight, okay? No pressure. Just make it as relaxing as possible for you. Closing the eyes for a moment. Lengthen and reach. If you are in your elbow, if you want to give your head a little rest by bringing your right hand up underneath your head, you can do that. For those of you that are very flexible, maybe you can even stretch the right elbow on the ground further out so you could go more down. You can explore what flexibility you do have. Just be sure to keep it nice and easy, right? No force. Sometimes less is more. Staying there for a moment. Gliding in. Almost there. Really support the body in its range of motion. Relaxing, releasing, almost there. Okay, let's prepare to come on back up. Inhale, nice and slow. Let's come on back up. Exhale, left hand over to the side. Inhale, sweep the right arm and just start to explore the movement over. Maybe you have the left elbow on the ground, maybe not. Maybe as you stay here, you can feel that there's more of a release that can happen if you kind of just allow your body to drape over. But please no force. If it's too much, dial it back down onto the elbow. It's all good. If it feels better for you to drape the right arm rather than reach, then you can drape the right arm. Find what works for your body. Nice and easy. Find the connection in. All is well. Nice and easy. Notice the points of intensity that seem to arise and see if you can soften or release into them. No fight, no force. Easy does it. Almost there. Soften just a little more through the neck, the shoulders. Then we'll prepare to come on up. Inhale slowly onto the elbow, stretching the right arm. And inhale all the way up. Keep your fingers in between straddling between your legs for a moment. Then hold underneath the knees and let's fold both knees in. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. Just hold that there. Head down. Soften a little in, moving from side to side. Feel the connection through the hips, connection through the hip joints. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Easy does it. And inhale as you lift the head up. Walk your feet a little bit forward. Make sure they're pointed forward on the mat, and we're going to roll the spine gently down. Exhale as you roll the spine down. Tuck the tail a little bit, and let's rest in constructive rest position for a moment. Close the eyes. Feet a little bit wider than your pelvis and knees close together. Steady breathing. Keep it nice and easy. Long, deep breath in, long, deep breath out. Feel your connection to the floor underneath you, through the floor, down into the earth. Mind quiet and released. No fight, no force. Easy does it. Find that border between wakefulness and sleep. Understanding that your mind and body really recharge at this deep space. And then slowly open the eyes, and you're going to walk the feet a little bit in so now the feet are touching. Then take your right leg and cross it on top of the left. Very good. Now, exhale, let's go for both knees over to the right side. Looking good. You don't need to touch the knees to the floor, but if they do, that's wonderful. Just allow it to go over until the point of resistance, or until the point where there's no more space. Whichever comes first, huh? Then we'll close the eyes for a moment. Relax your back muscles. Release the back muscles. Feel your connection from the pelvic floor through the hips, through the legs, through the feet. The whole body just softens releases, entering into a deep space of healing. Long, steady breath in, long, steady breath out. Nice and easy. All right, inhale, come on back into the center. Easy, shift on back. Let's keep the legs in this position. And then inhale, fold the legs into the body. So take a moment here, just kind of lift your pelvis off the ground, hold on to your ankles, and just give yourself a little tug inward. And then find the connection point that's feeling good for your body. And then close the eyes for a few breaths, letting your arms act as light weights for the body. But just gently release more and more down. You can explore what's more relaxing, to have the knees a little bit away from the body, or to have the knees really close to the body. You find what works for you. Easy does it. Drop into a quiet space within, finding that state of sanctuary. Release, relax, easy does it. Easy does it. Almost there. Whatever sensations, whether pleasurable or painful, just be aware. No fight. Soften and release. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Easy does it. Give your body the time it needs to unwind. The time it needs to just dial more and more down. Quiet and calm. Nice and easy. Exhale as you drop the left leg down. Keep holding onto the right foot for a moment. And then let's just open the right knee into kind of relaxed pigeon. Just hang out there for a moment with the right side. Nice and easy. Just give the hip a chance to kind of feel what it wants to feel. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. Little wiggles there. Good. Then inhale, let's lift the legs back up into the body for our reclining pigeon. You can have a couple of different hand grips. You can just hold your foot in your knee, or if it's comfortable for you, you can reach all the way around, holding underneath the left knee. Or for those of you that are very flexible, you could try to only hold on to the right side and then drop the left leg down and drop the left leg all the way down. This is very advanced, so please don't rush into that. If you feel any torque or twist in the right knee, you want to pull that left leg right back up and give it a little support, okay? If you want to try even just the left leg down, you can try just the left leg down, and then eventually thinking about all the way down. Okay, find the version that's right for you and then close the eyes. You're welcome also to cycle through, perhaps exploring one position, returning to another, finding your contact in. Even straightening the left leg is an option if that feels right. Just really explore what's going to best support the movement through that right hip. Rolling even a little side to side. Keeping the eyes closed. Easy does it. Easy does it. Make sure that you have strong support around the outer band of the right knee as you roll through a quiet, calm space within. Nice and easy. Feel your breath in your body, moving into more and more harmony. Good, we're almost there. Good. If you have your left leg straight, let's release the hands, or sorry, if you have the left knee bent, then exhale, you're gonna go down, opening again. And then lift your right leg up, point the right toes, extend the left leg down. And then reach your hands up. I'm just gonna give the right hamstring a chance to release, as well as the front of the left hip. Hold this for a couple breaths. Nice and easy, easy does it. Your breath, your body, all in unity. Long deep breath in. Long deep breath out. Easy does it. No fight, no force. Nice and quiet. If it's too much to hold under the ankle, you can be holding underneath the knee or even all the way down to the inner thigh. You can always bend the knee a little if it's too much as well. So you want to find the version that really works best for you, for where you are today. And then let's bend the right knee and then exhale all the way down. Let's just be totally straight for a moment. Point the feet, hands by your side. Let's just activate for a moment and release for a moment. Give your legs a little shake. Okay. And then back to constructive rest. We're going to do the other side. Settle your sacrum on the ground. Take constructive rest for a moment. Notice the difference in sensations between the right and left. Just be aware of what you feel. And let's walk the feet gently in. Cross the left knee over the right. Good. Then exhale. Give me both knees over to the left side. Then you want to just kind of let yourself stop at the point where you feel resistance, keeping the navel in. Easy does it. No fight, no force. Quiet the mind. Keeping the attention more and more inward. Steady breath in, steady breath out. Nice and easy. There may be intensity in this posture. That's okay. Just be aware of the intensity. And cultivate equanimity so the mind is able to relax even amidst the intensity. Soften and release. Good. Inhale, back to the center. Stay here for a moment, settle down. Then we're going to pick both legs up and spread the knees a little, spread the feet a little bit, and then just allow yourself to hug into the body. Then close the eyes. Spiral your attention down. Find the place where your hands really support the posture, whether holding onto the feet or the knees. Easy does it. Keeping the mind quiet and calm. Feel your breath as it moves in, breath as it moves out. Easy does it. You're welcome to wiggle a little around and roll your body around so that you can really find a place of comfort and release. No fight, no force. Easy does it. Allow the mind to just soften down, finding that border between wakefulness and sleep. Long, steady breaths. As you exhale, let's take that right leg down, left leg stays in place. And then just kind of wiggle out your left knee so that you feel kind of an easy external rotation. Stay there for a moment, just feeling what you feel. Then nice and easy, slowly bend the right knee up into the chest and explore the place where you want to hold. You could hold underneath the left knee and hold on to the left foot, or you could take both hands around. Find what works for you. You can wiggle around, holding under the right knee, on top of the right knee, holding onto only the left shin bone. You can explore straightening the right leg, picking the sacrum off the ground. You can explore sinking the right leg on the ground, or even straightening it. It's kind of intense to straighten the right leg, so you might not want to try that unless you're feeling very relaxed and open. Keep the eyes closed, soft and easy. No fight, no force, easy does it. All is well. Find the version of this reclining pigeon that works better for you. Maybe the left leg feels more supported when the right one is bent. Maybe the left leg feels better when it's into the chest. Maybe when it's straight. Whatever is working better for you. So many different ways to find the relaxation point of what works for the body to just relax and release, exploring all the different positions that might be right for you. Feel the breath moving in, breath moving out. Total relaxation, total release. Now as you exhale, let's drop the right leg back down. Stay for a moment. And then let's extend the left leg up, point the left foot and straighten the right leg down. Reach your arms up wherever your comfortable grip is, behind the knee, behind the thigh, all the way up to the ankle, eyes closed, and soften. Just enough activation through the left leg to keep it released and open. Easy does it. Keep the mind quiet and calm. No fight, no force. Almost there. Feel each breath moving in, breath moving out. Soften and release, quieting the mind. And then let's slide the left hand down. You can bend the knee, slide the left knee down, straighten the legs. We're going to point the feet. Just kind of reach down with the toes pointed for a moment. Give those fronts of the pelvis, fronts of the hips a chance just to relax and open. Now we're going to use our yoga blocks. You might need to bend the knees to prop yourself on up. And then we're going to do just a little bit of back bending. Make those blocks into a T shape. Stack them nice and comfortably. And then I want you to lean, kind of find the block aligned with the lower rib. There it is. And then the other block is going to go under your head. So you need to find the good position. Okay. After you found the good position, that's a little better. And then exhale, you can stretch your arms and your legs out and relax. Sometimes you may feel more supported by pointing the feet, or you may feel like, oh, I can just relax. If you want to just relax the feet, then just try to keep the heels close together. Long deep breath in, long deep breath out. Just dial the nervous system more and more down. Dial the nervous system more and more down. Easy does it. Easy does it. Whatever thoughts seem to be appearing in the mind, just release them down into the earth underneath you. Every thought, every image that seems to roll through the mind, release, unravel, untie. Melt into the ground underneath you. Quiet and calm. Easy does it. Quiet and aware. And let your mind soften and drift into a quiet space of healing. Feel the heart open, the body relax, nice and easy. We'll stay for a few more breaths, so really just enjoy each breath as the heart opens. Body softens. If there are parts of your body that you feel are in need of healing, just allow that healing to happen. Feel energy going to places of inflammation, tightness, weakness, or injury, or imbalance. And just feel the energy of harmony, alignment, and healing Now we prepare to come out. So let's activate the pelvic floor. So you bend the knees, you're going to press into the elbows. Inhale, slowly lift up. Let's move the blocks on over. And then make sure your sacrum is nice and tucked under, and exhale, let's lie all the way down. Close the eyes and just be aware of all that you feel. There may be floaty sensations, boundaryless sensations, the feeling of expansion or contraction. There may be a feeling of release and surrender. The mind and the body expand. The energy field that is you, the vibrational being that is you, releases into the infinite. From the heart center outward, release into the infinite. Infinitely outward and infinitely inward. Feel your body melting into emptiness. Feel the mind dissolving into bliss. Bring your attention to your heart center and be aware of your breath moving in and out through the heart as we begin to plant the seeds of metta. May the feelings of love, harmony, and peace be planted deeply within me. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May every conflict in my life find resolution. May I live in harmony with myself. May I live in harmony with all beings. Now expand your heart outward again. Be aware of your connection to the infinite. Be aware of all beings and all things that are contained within that infinity. Every human being, and those whom you know dearly, those whom share the practice of yoga with you, those whom are far away, who seem very different. Every plant, every flower, every blade of grass, every tree, all the water that runs through the earth, the seas, the streams, the lakes, the rivers. And the air, and all the particles in the air, and all the non-human beings, the animals, cherished pets, wild animals, beings of the air, beings of the water, beings of lands, all the animals in every situation, free animals, companion animals, and working animals, all these countless beings, every planet, galaxy, the entire universe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be filled with love. May all beings live in harmony, harmony, harmony. Be aware of your breath with a conscious breath in. Feel your body, feel the quality of mind. As you exhale, move your fingers, toes, hands and feet. Start to bend the knees and the elbows. Give the body a gentle wake up. And inhale, bend the knees up into your chest, a little squeeze. Thanks to your body. Thanks to yourself. Gratitude for this wonderful gift. Roll over onto your side. And come on back up to a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed, attention at the heart center. As you exhale, softly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love. Namaste.